depths of hell could have forged a diamond this special?
Good morning. What up? We back. What is today? I think today is hump day. Whoa. Alright, so we got 7 orders in the truck today. Excuse my French. Sorry, I'm starting off this morning so what's that word? Vile, maybe? I don't know. But good morning, everybody, guys, girls, non-binaries. How y'all doing? Make sure y'all leave it down in the comments section. Let me know how your day is going. It is I don't know, probably about 8 o'clock right now, but according to the video it's 6 o'clock. Yeah, so we got 7 orders on the truck this morning. So, and this brings me to a good point, which is something that I kind of want to talk to you guys about. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're old, you'll be all right. Sit tight. Thank you so much for watching. But nah, this brings me to a point that I wanted to make to anybody that's looking to get into this, or you know, that's interested in doing this and really wants to see what it's about making space and you know, helping your stores out when you can, you know, trying to service the customers and service your stores, and that way everybody's happy. You get paid for additional stops, and you know, that way, you know, it makes yourself look really good. So part of what I did, because me and the guy here in deliveries, James, he was asking me, you know, what orders was I taking now, which ones, you know, am I coming back for? He said, you know, on the route it shows that I'm supposed to be coming back for 2. I said, all right, well, let's talk about this. How about you show me everything that you got? We're gonna count out the pallet spaces, and if it's under 18, I could fit it all, or 18 or less, you know. So for instance, that triple stack thing of flooring, that was slated for 6 skid spaces, because the top bunk, that's 2, middle bunk, that's 2, bottom bunk, that's 2. So it's slated for 6, but before I got here, they had it banded all together. That's beautiful the way it is. So it's slated for 6, but it's really 2. That's what I like. So I could take overages. So like, let's say if this order was actually 20 footers instead of 16 footers, I can maybe take the overages. Like, I'm not gonna cry about it, you know. So, you know, I told him, I was like, you know, this is where the whole communication thing is, because he kept asking me, he's like, you know, I'm coming back for the 2. I'm like, how about you just tell me what it is that I'm taking, and I'll let you know, because I don't want to come back and have you guys, you know, spend time to load my truck all over again if I could take it all now. And that's exactly what happened. They condensed, and it all works out for everybody. Now look, another point I want to tell you guys about. This is why I do not have the stores only band material to the kickers, because look, this is why I asked for additional bands on the material. So you see here, there's no band there, but it's banded 2 additional times on top of the kickers. So I'm gonna take a picture, because I was just having a discussion with a young lady at the North Wyndham store, and you know, I was just like, you know, it's not the store's responsibility to explain it to you guys. It's really the driver's responsibility to kind of make you guys aware of the risks and the dangers that we are faced with every single day. And you know, by stacking them, it poses a threat if, you know, they're not banded together, and you know, the load isn't secured properly. And I'll show you once I get to the front. Let me finish throwing these straps real quick. I'm gonna get these done. So what, you know, part of the issue is like, once it goes on the truck, it becomes the driver's sole responsibility. And what I was explaining to the young lady yesterday was that I have 2 rules of thumb, and I'm not gonna break her, you know, I'm not gonna bust her chops too bad, because she's still new and she doesn't know. But I showed her, I was like, listen, you have a bunk of lumber that was only banded to the kickers. They only had 2 bands on it. I said, so if you were to cut one of those bands, how many bands you got holding it all together? She said 1. I said exactly. So how safe is that when you're holding together 10-foot lumber with only 1 band? And she was like, yeah, you're right. And I said, this is why, you know, deliveries has to have good communication with their drivers, you know, to know what their drivers expect of them and vice versa. Because if there's no communication, then what good is it having a team that's supposed to, you know, help you out with stuff? There's really no team. If you don't communicate to your delivery personnel what it is that you need from them, and you give them adequate time to do so, or if it's just like an ongoing thing where it's like you guys aren't explaining yourselves, then you can't expect your delivery personnel to know. And this is why every driver that does what I do should take the time out of their day to explain. I mean, I do it a lot more than what I should, because, you know, some people have 51st, like the memory of Lucy from 50 First Dates. And if you don't know who that is, I suggest you look up that Adam Sandler movie. It's an awesome movie. But yeah, like, you know, people have, you know, a memory that's gone once they go home. It's kind of like you got to do your homework while you're in school, because if not, you're not going to remember today's lesson. You know, that's why the teacher always gives students homework, so that they don't forget the lesson. It stays fresh, and or at least that's the concept. Homework to me is just annoying. But you know, if you're not telling your stores, and you're not explaining to, because essentially every store's delivery department is my team. That's the way I see it. Is my team. So whatever my team does not know, I cannot expect of them. So that's why, you know, I was explaining to this young lady, I said, listen, I've been told I have the strictest safety standards out of every driver that the store has encountered. Why? Because I actually give a fuck about my freedom. Because I told her I have 2 rules of thumb. Number 1, if it falls off the truck, where it lays is where it stays. And she like cracked a smirk. I said, listen, I'm not nobody's mother, I'm nobody's father, and I damn sure ain't the garbage man. So if it falls off the truck, where it lays is where it stays. Number 2, if it falls off the truck and it kills somebody, I can go to jail for life, and that's driver negligence. And that's, you know, that's a pretty serious, you know, crime. You know, I said, why should I go to jail for someone else's mistakes? You know, if, you know, Julio or whoever at the store doesn't prep the product correctly, and I don't explain it to him, and I just take it as is, nothing's gonna get changed. Nothing's gonna get done, because Julio doesn't know. He got hired to do an hourly job, and all he knows is about Home Depot policy. He doesn't really know about what his drivers expect of him. So if the drivers don't know, I mean, if the delivery department doesn't know what you expect of them, then you can't hold them to that standard. That's why I tell everybody, I'm not gonna take your unsafe because it inconveniences you. I'm gonna refuse your order because it's not safe for transport on the flatbed. So let me backtrack just a little bit. So I'll take this double stacked. Why? Because stone is very abrasive. So when you double stack skids of stone, as long as it's not double stacked like 2 full pallets, I'll take it, because that would be a lot of weight. But this right here is probably like, I don't know, 3,000 pounds, something like that, which isn't that bad, because this pallet right here is damn near close. So because each one of those rolls up there weighs about 50 pounds or something like that. So you figure you take them double stacked like that, and it saves you a skid space. Like, you're good. Sometimes, you know, in the past, I don't really recommend it, and this is kind of like one of those things where it's do as I say, not as I do. You know, I've taken double stacked skids of shingles, you know, back to back, and it was like 8 skids bringing it down the street to a customer. And when I say literally down the street, it was literally down the street. So it's not like I was driving across a couple counties or couple towns or whatever. It was literally down the street from the store that I was going. And so when you double stack stuff, you gotta know the risk. Now I didn't have them band the skids of shingles together, because shingles are very abrasive. They have all that crushed stone or whatever that stuff is on the outside of it that makes it very abrasive, and it's not gonna slide, especially if you have them back to back. But double stacking 8 skids of you know, you got 2 2, and then on the other side you got 2 2, that's 8. You just saved yourself 8 skid spaces and put it in half the space. And since it's going right down the street, you know what, sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit, but sometimes that winter chicken dinner ain't worth it. You know, you just gotta, you as a driver or the you know, the person training has to know your limits, has to know what's safe, and you have to definitely understand the risks that are involved. You can't expect somebody that works at a store getting paid an hourly job to really give that much of about something that you have not taken the time out of your day to explain. So with that being said, you know, you have to communicate. You as a driver, or you as a potential, or you as a helper, have to explain the risks to the people. And as I explained to the young lady yesterday, I said, listen, let me help you help me be safe. I said, because don't you think it's a little unfair that I would get locked up for something that you didn't do? Or, you know, the way I explained it to her was, you know, sometimes, you know, you could be shrink wrapping something and you're on your way looking for a piece of tape, and then, I don't know, your manager Bob tells you, hey, I need you to go pull something for a customer. Now you get sidetracked, but it's very important that you add that piece of tape, because, and you know, for those people who don't know what DOT is, DOT, and I'll explain it to you guys. For those of you who do know, bear with me. For those of you who don't know, out here in Connecticut, DOT, and pretty much every state, but in our state specifically, they have a darker gray vehicle. Now DOT can be either state troopers or specifically DOT. DOT stands for Department of Transportation. Now when you're in a regular four-wheel vehicle, such as a car, let's say you're driving down the road in your Toyota, a police officer has to have what's called RAS, reasonable articulated suspicion, to pull you over, or you have to be in the middle of committing a crime. In the state of Connecticut, such crime would be something as simple as texting and driving. I know in most states, I don't think they implemented that law yet, but out here in Connecticut, it's illegal to text and drive. It's illegal to hold your phone and drive. I had a friend that got a ticket. She wasn't even on the phone, but she was holding the phone in her hand, and they pulled her over for being on the phone. And she was like, yeah, I'll show you my call log. I wasn't even talking to anybody. And they were like, just because you have it in your hand, we're writing you a ticket. You shouldn't even have the phone in your hand. So when you're in your car, you got to have what's called they have to have a reason to pull you over, or a suspicion that, you know, you might be driving under the influence of something, DUI, or, you know, driving while intoxicated, or, you know, whatever have you. You know, you're not maintaining lane, whatever the case may be. They have to have reasonable articulated suspicion to pull you over or witness you committing a crime. But in the truck, when you're driving a big rig like I do, or when you're driving any commercial vehicle, DOT or state troopers do not have to have a reason to pull you over. They can pull you in for what's called a random inspection. So as I explained to the young lady yesterday, I said, let's say you forget to shrink wrap, or you forget to tape the shrink wrap. What's going to happen is the wind's going to catch the end. It's going to start flapping. The way I explain it to people is that DOT is kind of like a male lion. And when I say a male lion as opposed to a female lion, is because if you ever watch some of those nature shows, a female lion will watch a pack of buffalo or gazelle or I can't remember what the other animal's name is, but it's an animal that runs in a herd. You know, the female will watch and look for, you know, one that she can catch, and eventually the male lion will get so tired and so impatient and of waiting for dinner that he'll just prowl and he'll run and jump on the first one he sees. He doesn't discriminate on nothing. So when I say DOT is like a male lion who's ready to just when I said prowl, pounce, and they're ready to pounce on the first truck that they see. If that's what their intentions are, then that's what they can do. They don't have to have a reasonable suspicion to pull us over. And as I explained to the young lady, I said, now by you not taping that shrink wrap, the shrink wrap is going to start blowing. That, in the eyes of, and this is the way I perceive it, and everything that I'm talking about is the way that I see it and the way that I understand it. I'm only 29 years old, so forgive me if I'm underdeveloped. Forgive me, god damn it. I tried so hard to be smart. I took my Flintstone kids vitamins, took them twice a day. But yeah, no, like so I said that chunk of shrink wrap that's waving, that's, you know, flailing in the air, that's basically like, hey DOT, come get me. So in that eyes, in my eyes, when I see that, when I see the shrink wrap blowing off, that's kind of like in the eyes of a female lion, because now it's kind of like I'm injured. Oh, easy catch. Now we're gonna pull him over and we're gonna be like, hey driver, you know, you lazy, you should have put some tape on that shrink wrap, and maybe we would have never even noticed you. You would have just blended in with the crowd. But it's kind of like, you know, you're bleeding and I'm a predator and I smell blood. Now I'm gonna go after you because you're weak, and now I'm gonna see what else is wrong on the rest of your truck. Now DOT can pull you in for a 10-minute inspection. All right, cool. Let me see your logs. All right, cool. Your log checks out. Where you headed to? What's, you know, where's the paperwork for the load that you're carrying? All right, cool. Here it is. All right, cool. He has all the paperwork for his load. Cool. All right, Mr. Stafford, you're on your way. Thank you so much for cooperating. You have a wonderful day. Or, you know, if you decide to be a smart ass about it, they could pull you over, and every nook, every cranny on your vehicle, from your lug nuts to your wheel seals to your hubs to your brake lines to the grease on your fifth wheel, to, like, I could possibly get a ticket for that, for my lines dragging. I wouldn't say, like, I don't think they're gonna break my balls too bad, because it's on a spring. But it's like, you don't want to give them a reason to pull you over. And when you're double stacking stuff, and when you're, you know, helping out your store and you're helping out your customers, you do not want to have anything out of the ordinary that they don't see on an everyday basis. Because when they see that, like, oh, you got triple stack bunks of sheetrock, you know, that are shifting, about to fall over onto a sheet of plywood. You don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt to, you know, really take a look at your load and really see, like, what the f. They're like, damn, why the f did he do that? Like, why would he triple stack that and not have anything secure in that? And they're not gonna care if the guy at the store didn't band it. They're not gonna give a f, because it's on my vehicle. If it's on my vehicle and it's on your vehicle, then you are 100, not 99.98, you are 100% responsible for your entire load. So again, just to reiterate, to recap, in conclusion, whatever you want to call it, if you do not communicate with your stores, you do not communicate with your clients, your customers, like, hey, even if I didn't have a Home Depot account, let's say I did, you know, another account, let's say, you know, I was hauling, you know, I-beams for the Connecticut Department of Transportation, DOT, and I'm delivering to the highway because they're building a new section of highway. If you do not tell them what you need done, or if they express to you, hey, it is not our responsibility to put the beams together and secure them together, then it is your job as a professional, as a driver, as a what do you call that? Yeah, as a professional. Like, you know, I don't know any other way to articulate it, but, or to express it, but when you become a professional driver, they hold you to a higher standard. That's why they do not have to have reasonable, articulated suspicion to pull you over, you know. So they expect you to have everything in order, everything legit, and everything accounted for, and everything secured. And most of all, the reason why they're pulling you over is just to make sure that you're running safe, so you don't put the innocent lives in jeopardy because you decided that you want to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning at your other job, you know, at the Xerox copy place. And, you know, they want to make sure that your logs, you know, you're not working a second job, that you're not going to be overly tired and overworked to be able to perform and do this job and stay awake, stay conscious, so that you're not killing people out there on the road. But I have to get back to doing what I got to do, which is going to bang out my 7 loads right here. I got to go all the way up to Woodstock today. I'm not sure which delivery it is. I'll have to double check, but yeah, today should be a pretty interesting day. I got sunburn on the back of my neck. What else is new, right? But thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I do greatly appreciate it, and I would greatly appreciate it if you guys could smash that like button. You know, if we get, like, I don't know, 5 million likes on this video, I don't think that's too much to ask. But make sure you guys leave it down in the comment section how your day's going. If you guys have any input, anything you guys want to share, you know, anything that you guys want to contribute. Knowledge is power, everybody. And, you know, it's crazy with all the technology that we have nowadays that there aren't more people putting out videos like this. And if there are, I'm just not looking for them because I could care less, because I'm not really, I as a driver, you can't really expect another driver to 100% abide by the rules that you set forth. And my philosophy is, and it's an old philosophy, you probably heard it 1,000,001 times in your lifetime, but I can lead a horse to water, but I cannot force it to drink. So if you guys want to know, you know, what it is that I do and this, that, the third, and how I secure loads, and I'm going by experience. So, like, for instance, my business partner, he could be like, hey, you know, I'll take that. They don't even got to band it. And because I know what I know firsthand, his firsthand account and his firsthand experience is not going to offset my firsthand experience. So the reason why I have them do it a certain way is because I've seen some happen to me again or ever. Because, you know, I see drivers, they'll run this entire rig with 8 straps on this side, 2 straps on the other side, and I'm like, 10 straps ain't enough. It really isn't. You know, if you got, let's say you had 18 pallets on here per DOT, 2 straps on the first one, 2 straps on the last one, you're down 4 straps. And let's say, you know, you got lumber or something crazy, or like a crazy cut of lumber or a random piece, you know, how are you supposed to secure it, you know? I'd rather have more than enough than not enough. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So thank you. It's banged my head. So without further ado, guys, I do appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching my channel. And again, please make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, click the all button so that way you get all the video notifications. I try to drop a video 6 days a week if you are unaware. I'm trying to move on to 7 because I just get so much content for you guys, and you know, every week is different. So you know, I try to keep you guys in the know.